Far away in a cold, dark part of space, the council of alien leaders gathered. Their eyes glimmered with curiosity, but their voices were filled with laughter. On the viewing screen floated Earth's newest creation, a small, strange-looking spacecraft. The aliens scoffed at it. "Is this a joke?" one of them hissed. "It looks like a toy." Another snickered. "Humans think they can explore space with this? Pathetic." Earth's prototype was small, fragile, and untested. It had been built in haste, designed to explore beyond the solar system, to see what mysteries the universe held. The humans had high hopes. But to the aliens, it seemed like nothing more than a minor experiment, not worth taking seriously. Inside the ship, the crew, 3 humans, did not hear the laughter. They were too busy preparing for the long journey ahead. Captain Ilara adjusted the control panel and checked the navigation systems. Every system blinked green, but her hands were steady despite the tight knot of anxiety in her stomach. "Ready for launch," she said quietly, her voice calm, but her mind raced. She knew no one would come to help them if anything went wrong. The mission was dangerous, but they had no choice. Earth was counting on them. As the countdown reached 0, the prototype shook with power. Rockets ignited, and a bright flame tore through the darkness of space. The aliens outside the observation deck laughed harder, convinced this small craft would be destroyed quickly. "Watch closely," the eldest alien said with a smirk. "It will fail within hours. The humans will learn their place." Hours passed. The prototype moved steadily through space, small but determined. Its tiny engines burned bright against the void, cutting through darkness like a stubborn star. Inside, the humans worked silently, monitoring readings, checking supplies, and scanning for threats. Then came the first danger. An asteroid field appeared on their sensors. Massive rocks drifted in slow, dangerous patterns. Any mistake could shatter the small prototype into pieces. Captain Ilara took a deep breath and maneuvered the ship carefully. The crew held their breath as rocks scraped past them, close enough to feel the pull of gravity and danger. The aliens, still watching, leaned forward in mild interest. One said. "Maybe it has a little luck." But luck alone would not be enough. The humans had skill and determination. They had something the aliens could not understand, the ability to adapt, to think differently, to survive when all odds were against them. Night fell on Earth's distant home planet, and far away, the prototype drifted further into the unknown. Communication signals flickered, weak and intermittent. For a moment, it seemed as if the prototype was truly alone, abandoned in the vast, endless dark. And then, faintly, a strange energy appeared on their sensors. Something massive, something moving fast, approached, but they could not identify it. The crew exchanged nervous glances, tension rising. "Whatever it is," Captain Ilara whispered, "we face it together." The aliens outside the council chamber laughed once more, unaware that the small ship they had mocked was not just surviving. It was learning, adapting, and ready to face whatever the universe threw at it. And deep in the void, the prototype sailed onward, small but unbroken, carrying with it the hopes of humanity, and the promise that no matter how much the universe laughed, humans would not be defeated so easily. The prototype glided deeper into the endless darkness of space. Stars sparkled like distant diamonds, but the humans aboard felt anything but calm. The alien laughter from earlier still echoed in their minds, not as sound, but as a reminder that the universe did not expect them to survive. Captain Ilara tightened her grip on the control panel. "We've lost the last communication signal from Earth," she said quietly. "No help is coming. This is all on us." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Lieutenant Orin tapped the monitor. "Asteroid field behind us is clear, but there's a strange energy reading ahead. It's unlike anything I've ever seen." The sensors flickered. The energy pulse was growing stronger, almost alive, as if it were watching the tiny ship approach. Ilara frowned. "Stay alert. Keep shields ready. We don't know what it is." Hours passed slowly. The prototype drifted alone, its small engines humming against the vacuum of space. The humans were tired, but sleep was impossible. Every shadow, every flicker on the monitor, could hide danger. Every beep could be the last signal before disaster. Then the first real threat appeared. A rogue comet shot across their path, moving faster than any star chart predicted. Its icy tail glowed, and the ship's alarm blared. Evasive maneuvers now. Ilara shouted. The prototype swerved, narrowly avoiding the comet's deadly trajectory. Sparks flew from the shield panel, but the ship held. Orin exhaled sharply. That was too close. Too close. But the danger was far from over. As they continued, the strange energy signal grew stronger, surrounding them like invisible fingers. Suddenly, a shadow moved across the radar, a massive shape, far bigger than their tiny ship. What is that?" whispered Mara, the engineer, her voice trembling. Ilara didn't answer. Her eyes scanned the dark void ahead. The shape seemed to loom closer, silent, immense, and unknowable. The crew felt a chill, not from cold, but from fear. They were alone, truly alone, against something they could not see or predict. And yet, they did not panic. Humans had a strange strength, one the aliens could never understand. They thought the small prototype would fail because it was weak. But humans were clever. Humans adapted. Every problem, every danger, was a challenge to overcome, not a reason to surrender. Ilara adjusted the ship's course. Whatever that is, we will face it. Together. The shadow on the radar flickered. Then it disappeared for a moment, leaving the crew tense and alert. Every second dragged, filled with the hum of engines, the blinking lights of the panels, and the unspoken question: would this massive presence attack, or was it something else entirely? The void around them seemed alive now, shifting, unpredictable. Stars blurred as they moved faster, and the strange energy pulsed stronger, almost as if space itself were testing them. And then, faintly, a new signal appeared on their sensors. Not human, not alien, they had never encountered anything like it. It was powerful. It was fast. And it was coming straight for them. Ilara swallowed hard. Prepare for anything. Whatever is coming, we survive. Far away, in the alien council chamber, the leaders leaned forward, confused. Their laughter had died down. The tiny human prototype was still alive. And it was not just moving, it was learning. Adapting. Preparing for what was coming. Alone in the void, the human crew tightened their grip on the controls. They were small. They were alone. But they were not afraid. And in that silence, heavy with danger and anticipation, the universe waited. The prototype floated through the darkness, its small engines humming steadily. The humans aboard felt a tension that pressed on their chests like gravity itself. The strange energy from earlier had vanished, but it left behind a warning: they were not alone. Suddenly, the calm was shattered. The radar beeped wildly. Red blips appeared, dozens of them. Alien ships, fast and armed with deadly weapons, were closing in. "They found us," Captain Ilara said, her voice steady but urgent. "Get ready. Brace for impact." Lieutenant Orin's hands flew over the controls. "Shields at maximum. Weapons online. We can't outrun them for long." The aliens opened fire. Beams of bright energy streaked through the void, slicing past stars. The prototype rocked violently as shields absorbed the first strikes. Sparks flew inside the cabin, alarms blaring. Mara, the engineer, scrambled to stabilize the ship. "They're stronger than anything we've faced before," she shouted, sweat dripping down her forehead. Ilara gritted her teeth. "Strength alone won't save them. We have something they don't: our minds, our creativity." Using small, sudden maneuvers, the humans dodged and weaved through the alien fire. The prototype was tiny, but it was clever. Every movement was precise, calculated, unpredictable. The aliens expected brute force. They did not expect intelligence. The first alien ship came dangerously close. Its weapons locked onto the prototype. Ilara took a deep breath and flipped a control switch. The ship ejected a small decoy, flashing and glowing like a real target. The alien fired, and missed completely. The humans barely suppressed a cheer. "They're underestimating us," Orin said. just like they always do. The aliens regrouped, forming a circle around the tiny ship. Beams of energy cut the void, trying to trap it. But the prototype had another trick. Its engines released a pulse of energy that pushed the surrounding debris into the path of the alien ships. Rocks and space junk smashed into the attackers, slowing them down. Mara's eyes widened. "We're turning the battlefield into our advantage." The aliens hissed in frustration. They had never faced an opponent that could fight with brains instead of sheer size. Every move the humans made was unexpected, clever, and daring. Then, from the far side of the void, a massive silhouette appeared. It was the shadow they had sensed before, the enormous human warship. Its hull gleamed with power, and energy weapons lit the darkness. It was bigger, stronger, and faster than any alien ship in the fleet. Ilara's jaw tightened. "This is our chance. Hold steady. Wait for my signal." The humans coordinated with the massive warship. Together, they struck with precision. Alien ships were knocked off course, some destroyed, others retreating. Shock and fear spread among the attackers. They had never imagined humans capable of such strategy. The prototype dodged, weaved, and attacked, while the warship unleashed its full power. In minutes, the alien fleet was in disarray. Their confidence shattered, their laughter from before gone. The humans had survived. The aliens had underestimated them, and that mistake would cost dearly. But even as victory seemed near, Ilara kept her eyes on the dark void ahead. "Stay alert. This battle is over, for now. But the war is just beginning." The crew looked at each other, exhaustion and relief mixing in their expressions. They were small. They were alone. But they had proven something important. Humans were not weak. Humans were clever, adaptable, and dangerous when pushed. And far away, in the shadowed corners of the galaxy, the aliens whispered in disbelief. The humans had survived. And they had fought back. The prototype sailed onward, battered but unbroken. The darkness around them was still vast, still dangerous, but the crew knew one thing: humanity would never bow. The void was silent for a moment, broken only by the hum of the tiny prototype's engines. Then, from the darkness ahead, the massive human warship revealed itself in full glory. Its hull gleamed like polished metal, and energy weapons lined its sides, glowing with deadly power. Captain Ilara felt a surge of hope. "We're not alone anymore," she whispered. The alien fleet, previously confident, froze in shock. They had expected a small, weak human craft. They had not expected a warship of this magnitude. This is impossible," one alien commander hissed. "Humans, they've built this." The humans had waited for the perfect moment. Ilara coordinated with the warship, giving clear, simple commands. "Draw them in. Focus their fire on decoys. We hit them together." The alien ships advanced, weapons ready, but they were confused. The prototype weaved through them, launching small energy pulses and distracting the attackers. Meanwhile, the massive warship moved like a predator through the void, striking quickly and decisively. Blasts of energy tore through the alien fleet. Ships exploded one by one, their remains scattering across the stars. The aliens were unprepared for the human strategy, small and clever versus big and powerful. Inside the prototype, the crew felt a mix of fear and excitement. "We're doing it," Orin said, eyes wide. "We're actually winning." Ilara nodded. "Stay focused. This is only the beginning." The aliens tried to regroup, but it was too late. Every attack they launched was countered. Every strategy they used was anticipated. The humans had one advantage the aliens never expected: their ability to adapt and think differently. Mara adjusted the ship's shields and weapons. "It's like they don't even know what we're capable of." The warship fired a massive beam, slicing through the last line of alien attackers. The remaining ships scattered, retreating into the darkness of space, humiliated and defeated. The humans had not only survived, they had conquered. But the victory was not without tension. The void remained vast and full of unknown dangers. Captain Ilara kept her eyes on the radar. "This battle is over, but the universe is bigger than we can imagine. There's more out there. The crew shared a moment of quiet triumph. They had faced impossible odds, survived alone, and now, with the human warship, they had struck back against the forces that laughed at them. Far away, the alien council seethed in disbelief. They underestimated the humans, one alien leader growled. They survived where nothing else would. They fought back, and they won. Back on the prototype, Ilara looked at her crew, proud. They thought we were weak, she said softly. They thought we'd fail. But humans, we never give up. Not ever. The warship accompanied the small prototype as they moved deeper into space, a symbol of human ingenuity, strength, and courage. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Humans were not to be mocked. Humans were clever, resilient, and dangerous when underestimated. And somewhere in the darkness, new challenges awaited. But for now, humanity had proven itself. The small prototype, once ridiculed, was no longer alone. It was part of a force that would shape the galaxy in ways the aliens could never imagine. Captain Ilara leaned back in her seat. We survived, she said, a small smile forming. And we've just begun. The alien fleet had retreated into the shadows of space, defeated and humiliated. Their confidence shattered, their laughter gone. They left the tiny prototype and the massive human warship alone in the void. For the first time, the humans could breathe, but only for a moment. Captain Ilara looked out at the endless stars, her face calm but determined. We did it, she said softly. The prototype survived. Humanity survived. But the galaxy is still dangerous. The crew exchanged tired but proud smiles. They had faced impossible odds, survived alone in deep space, and fought back against a force that had mocked them. Every challenge had tested their courage, their minds, and their resolve. And yet, here they were, victorious. The prototype, once seen as fragile and insignificant, had proven its worth. It had survived asteroid fields, strange energies, and alien attacks. It had survived because humans never give up, never stop thinking, and never underestimate their own strength. The warship remained nearby, a silent guardian. Its presence reassured the crew that they were no longer alone. Together, they were unstoppable, a symbol of human ingenuity and power. The aliens had learned a lesson. Humans were clever, adaptable, and dangerous when underestimated. Ilara turned to her crew. This mission was supposed to test the prototype, she said. But it also tested us. We've learned something important. No matter how small we seem, no matter how alone we are, humans can overcome anything. Mara, still adjusting the ship systems, nodded. We were mocked, abandoned, and underestimated. And yet, we survived. That's humanity. Orin added, the universe is bigger than we imagined. There are more dangers out there, but now we know we can face them. A calm silence fell over the crew. The void stretched endlessly, full of mystery and threat, but for the first time, it felt a little less terrifying. They had survived. They had fought. And they had proven their strength. Far away, in the alien council chambers, leaders whispered in disbelief. They survived, one said quietly. They survived and struck back. Humans, we have underestimated them for too long. Back on the prototype, Captain Ilara smiled faintly. They laughed at Earth. They thought we were weak. But humans, we are stronger than anyone could imagine. And this is only the beginning. The stars sparkled ahead, endless and full of possibilities. The prototype and the warship moved forward, ready for whatever the universe would throw at them next. The mission had been a success, but the adventure was far from over. New challenges, new discoveries, and new enemies awaited, but humanity would meet them head-on, with courage, intelligence, and strength. And in that moment, the galaxy learned an undeniable truth. Earth had created something more than a simple experiment. It had created a people who could survive the impossible, fight the unbeatable, and rise above the universe's doubts. Captain Ilara leaned back in her chair, watching the stars streak by. We survived. We fought. And one day, we will rise even higher. The small prototype, once ridiculed and abandoned, now sailed proudly among the stars. Humanity had proven its worth. Humanity had struck back. And the legacy of this mission would echo across the galaxy forever. The void was still dark and dangerous, but humans were no longer afraid. They had begun their journey to become legends in the vastness of space.